Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Songs of Conquest. This is a game that you can currently find on Steam's Early Access program for about $30. However, the game is 66% off until April 11th, 2024. If you like what you see here, grab it. It's an amazing game. I stress early access, though. Everything that you're about to see is most definitely subject to change. So this game is along the lines of Hero's Hour. If you've played that, you're typically going to see a civilization through this 2D/3D map, and you're going to go around collecting resources and sort of taking over the map systematically, building your forces as you go, with the ultimate goal of pretty much wiping out your opponents. There is a skirmish mode with conquest maps, challenge maps, or random maps, so you can choose either or there. There's also a campaign if you'd rather do that. There's so many different options to choose from. There's even a map editor. I have not played with the map editor yet, but there's a community maps button that you can click on, and you can download, maps that other people have created. So you're not going to run out of maps, is what I'm saying. If you're the creative type that likes to learn map editors, you'll have even more leeway with this. I love that. The game inherently already has a bunch of maps. And like I said, there is even a random map generator mode that you can turn on. And there's also different game settings that you can adjust. There's also 4 different factions. My problem with that, whenever you're picking them on like the game setup, it's just like the description doesn't really tell you what the armies are. Like reading the description doesn't really tell me what units they have or what they're good at. I would prefer like a more broken down. Like, I want to see what each faction is. Are they human? Are they undead? Are they this, fae, whatever? I just lay it out for me in a nice, neat manner instead of a paragraph. You know what I mean? Just tell me flat out what they have and what they're good at. I would like more information there as a new player. But if you'd rather do a more like structured playthrough, there is there's a campaign mode that you can play instead of all the other maps that you can play. So long story short, there's just a lot that you can do here. A lot of different ways you can set this up. Like I said, if you've played Hero's Hour, you'll get the gist of it. You control at the start of the game one major hero, and by upgrading your town, and within the build slots, you can build various buildings. Like you start with like 2 small build slots at the beginning, and you can build like shops that give you more gold per turn. This is a turn-based game, so you're going to be earning resources every turn, assuming you've built things for them. A stone pit will give you stone, like a lumber mill gives you like wood, whatever. Or you can build like barracks and other particular like troop buildings that will generate troops every day, every turn. And then you go back to town, and then you can buy them as they are being generated so that you can attach them to that one major hero that you have to make him stronger. Now, there is a slight difference between, this game and Hero's Hour in the sense that, you have limited troop slots. As you're upgrading your major hero, you can choose between like 3 different things. Typically, one of them is always upgrade command, which unlocks the number of troop types that you can have in your army, which is super important. There's also some magic in this game as well. There's different magic types, and these heroes can cast spells as they're fighting. I didn't get to play around with that too much, but that is a thing. I spent more time managing my town and, upgrade it. You can upgrade buildings and within the build slots build more. So I spent most of my time doing that. And as you go around capturing neutral sites, you can also take over those towns. They get build slots, and you can upgrade that town to get even more build slots, and you can have like 3 or 4 mini towns going depending on the size of your map. There's also like various NPCs that are scattered around the map, which they range in difficulty, but typically they protect some kind of major resource that you're trying to earn. And again, these resources are super important because you need to buy your troops. You need this resource to upgrade these buildings. There's even a research area, so you need particular resources for that. With combat, there is an auto resolve, which is great. And if you don't like the results of the auto resolve, you can instead go, no, I'm going to play this instead and see if I can get a better result. I love that. I love like the game goes, all right, this is what you get if I just do it. Now, do you want to up me? Do you want to see if you can do better than me? And typically the AI does a very good job auto-resolving. I've only like really controlled my armies once, but if you want to play around with the spells, then you really need to take manual control. It's just this hex-based grid. Clicking on an enemy will show you where they can move and stuff like that. I played a 1v1 map, and it was pretty simple. Over the course of time, you get more than the one hero. They're called wielders in this game instead of heroes. But yeah, I got two different wielders, and when you start buying more wielders, you can actually choose which one you want out of a list. They also have different attributes too, so you may want a defensive one or one that starts with a particular spell or skill, that kind of thing. All in all, like, I had a fun time with this. Graphically, it's amazing. I love the graphics. It reminds me of like the 16-bit Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games. Also, Heroes of Hammerwatch has similar graphic styles. It's very like high contrasty, pixelated graphics. I don't know what the correct term is, but I really enjoy them. And the music is very good too. Like I typically have to turn the music off because I'm always afraid of copyright when I'm recording. But when I'm not recording, when I have the music on, it's really good. I'm really happy with it. And like, I highly recommend this game, especially because the game is 66% off right now for like 10 days. So yeah, grab this. If you liked Heroes Hour and you want something slightly different, then by all means get this. The different maps are amazing. And you can, again, randomly generate them or download community maps or create your own. I love that. And I'm a sucker for games like this because it's very tactical. There are multiple difficulty settings as well, so you can play on like, you know, easy all the way up to, I think there's like 5 or 6 difficulty settings. So yeah, at least in skirmish. In campaign, I think there's like 3, something like that. But yeah, there's even a research tree, which is great. By building a foundry, you can construct these researches. If you build like a merchant's building, you can focus on these researches. And typically you need, it's like glassware. It's some kind of weird glimmerware or something like that resource that you get. And again, you can capture mines and other things that grant you these resources every turn if you're willing to wait for them. And again, the ultimate goal is just wipe out your opponents, unless you're playing a campaign mission that says something else. But typically, blow up your enemy base. That's what it is. I love this game. I'm having a great time with it, and I highly recommend it. It has a lot of replayability, what with all the different maps that you can play and the different ways you can customize it. So there you go, folks. Songs of Conquest. Check this game out at the very least. Again, my only complaint is some more detailed information into the 4 different factions during the setup screen would be great. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.